This is the San Francisco 49ers Report. Chase Sr. hanging out here with you. As always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. And coming up here over the course of the next several minutes, some good news, some bad news for the Niners going into Week 13 against the Cleveland Browns in the aftermath of that 20-9 victory over the Carolina Panthers on Monday Night Football. Let's begin here. We're closing in on another subscriber milestone right here on the program. We're only 27 people away from 181,000 subscribers. So if you want Niners coverage daily, that is insightful, informative, entertaining, thought-provoking, where you have a voice and you want to be a part of a Niners community right here on YouTube, lock us in and subscribe today. So where things are for the 49ers right now, fans have to be pleased with where this team is at, and obviously that's great news for fans who had to endure a very disappointing and frustrating 6-11 season last year. The Niners right now, 8-4. Big win on Monday Night Football against a winning team. They are in the thick of the NFC race and the NFC West hunt, right up there with the Los Angeles Rams and the Seattle Seahawks record-wise. This defense in the last two games has shown some good things. The defense against Carolina, spectacular in the last two games. They have done a really good job of stopping the run. Not giving up as many explosive plays against Carolina was a good step in the right direction given what happened against Arizona. What do you want to see from a young defense? Continued growth. What do you want to see? Players get on the right track like a Jair Brown. I thought the pass rush was a little bit improved, and we saw some flashes from this offense as well. Brock Purdy was not good, but Christian McCaffrey, stud. George Kittle getting healthier and healthier. I still think Ricky Pearsall due for a breakout performance soon. Purdy able to link up with Jawan Jennings on a couple of occasions. Really one of the big things too, this offensive line playing a lot better over the last couple of weeks than they were early in the year. The left guard rotation, Spencer Burford, Ben Barch, better than Connor Colby. And Dominic Pooney, healthy now, has played some good football. And what a year we are witnessing from a couple of individuals with this organization. Christian McCaffrey, Kyle Shanahan, Robert Saleh. CMC has to be in the running for Offensive Player of the Year. The production that we've seen, I know he has a lot of touches, but his impact on the game is profound. Kyle Shanahan should be the Coach of the Year. Robert Saleh, I think, has been one of the top coordinators in football. And going back to this point here about the Niners being in the hunt in the NFC and in the NFC West, considering what happened last year and with what the Niners did this offseason, letting a lot of players go who are great players for this organization, eating a lot of dead money, resetting from a financial standpoint, but also a youth standpoint, to be 8-4 by the end of November with a great opportunity in front of you, that's what you want for a team that reset this offseason. And the Niners might be the final wildcard team right now, but they can climb up these standings here. You have the Rams at 9-2, one win ahead of the Niners, two in the loss column. You have the Eagles there at 8-3, Bears at 8-3, Bucks at 6-5. Now, of course, those teams are the top four seeds because they're leading their division. The Niners split, though, with the Rams. They still have a game left with the Seattle Seahawks, who are in that 5 spot. So San Francisco can climb up these standings in the NFC. And you look furthermore at the NFC West standings, it's really a 3-horse race in what might be the deepest division in football here in 2025. Rams 9-2, Seahawks 8-3, Niners 8-4. And as I mentioned, Niners-Rams have split. Niners already beat Seattle. Niners have a nice schedule in front of them that we'll take a look at here in a moment. They still have a huge game left with the Seahawks. The Seahawks and Rams play one another coming up here soon. After that game last week was one that came down to the wire where Sam Darnold had 4 picks and Seattle still had an opportunity to win that game late. So I just love that the Niners have been able to persevere, that they have had toughness as an organization. And you've seen some signs from some of these young players who can be building blocks for this team. And you look at the Niners 2025 schedule on the road against the Browns. This game's not going to be easy. We'll talk more about that. They have their bye week in week 14. This bye week comes at a great time, in my opinion. This is a team that's been banged up. You win against Cleveland. You're feeling really good coming out of that week 14 bye where you have one of the worst teams in football coming to Levi's in week 15. You go on the road, difficult game against the Indianapolis Colts. You can really control your destiny on Sunday Night Football against the Chicago Bears, and then you play the Seattle Seahawks. I mean, you finish strong here. You have to feel really good about the Niners' chances to make the playoffs, but where they'll be as far as playoff seeding and potentially what they can accomplish in the NFC playoffs, because as we know, there's really not a great team in the National Football League this year. And if there is one, probably the Los Angeles Rams, who the Niners beat earlier this year on Thursday Night Football. And so we look ahead to week 13. Niners on the road against the Cleveland Browns. It's expected to be cold. The weather is not supposed to be great. It's Cleveland. Who would want to live there? Not me. And when it gets to November and December, it feels as though the sun don't shine. And so the over-under reflected by that, it's 38. That's extremely low. I think it's going to be a low-scoring, defensive-oriented ball game. The Niners are 5-point favorites. I don't really like that line for some things that we're going to talk about here. I will say this. If you like entertainment as a football fan, this game is for you. The Cleveland Browns are starting rookie quarterback Shedeur Sanders. He has a massive following, a little bit of a cult following, and I have to be honest, I'm intrigued by the player with what he did at Colorado. The throw that he made on the run, rolling to his right against the Las Vegas Raiders, was a phenomenal play. I thought some of the moments that he had in the preseason against Carolina, he displayed some potential as an NFL quarterback. And whether you like his personality or not, whether you say he's cocky or he's arrogant, one thing is for sure. He is entertaining. He moves the needle. This is going to be a ratings juggernaut here on the 49ers Report. And people are drawn to Shedeur because they like tuning in or they hate watch him. And we've seen it here at Chat Sports, our Cleveland Browns channel, led by Joey O'Donohue. His numbers have gone up. His watch parties have been crazy in the two games that Shedeur has really played the last 2 weeks, with his first start coming last week. And I know the numbers aren't going to pop off the screen at you. He was 11 of 20, 209 yards, a touchdown and a pick, a quarterback rating of 87.3, but he had 1 week of practice with the ones, and I thought that he made some high-level plays in that game, and so that adds a lot of intrigue, excitement, and drama to a Niners-Browns game coming up here to round out the month of November, and I frankly can't wait to watch it as a football fan and as somebody who loves this game, because I also want to dissect and scout Shedeur Sanders on Sunday against Robert Saleh's defense. Going to be a good matchup there. Now, still to come here on the show, we got to some good news for the Niners and Niner fans. Some potentially bad news coming up here just around the corner. But I do want to welcome on a brand new sponsor here on the San Francisco 49ers Report. Today's show sponsored by Cash App. The holidays are all about finding the perfect gift, but this time of year, not every deal is actually what it seems. Scammers are getting more creative to trick people into sharing their payment info through methods like fake shopping sites and giveaways that are too good to be true. Luckily, Cash App's 24/7 fraud monitoring helps detect and alert you for unusual card activity should somebody gain access to your card, so you can act fast if something seems off. You can also lock or unlock your Cash App card instantly right in the app for extra control and peace of mind. Stay one step ahead of scams this season and keep your money secure with Cash App. Gift yourself some peace of mind this holiday season and download Cash App. For a limited time, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code, SECURE10. That's SECURE10. You see it on the screen right now in your profile. Send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App is a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank. Member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures. All of that information down below in the show notes and attached to the pinned comment of today's program. All right, let's get to this. Coming off a bad game against the Carolina Panthers, Brock Purdy, who has always struggled in bad weather, now faces an elite defense led by Myles Garrett. And you have to savor how special Myles Garrett is as a player and what he's doing right now. He already has 18 sacks on the season. The Niners as a team, after beating Carolina, have 13. And so he is putting together one of the most special seasons for a pass rusher that we have literally ever seen in the history of football. And he is closing in on Michael Strahan's sack record for the most sacks in a single season. He has 18 right now going into this Week 14 game, and he has a pass rush grade of 92.2. He has 27 quarterback hits, 36 pressures. Michael Strahan, back in 2001, set the record for the most sacks in a single season, 22 and a half. So the Niners offensive line, they will have their work cut out for them. And I can imagine they're going to be chipping Garrett with a couple of tight ends like Luke Farrell and George Kittle all day long because they don't want to let Flash Garrett dominate, take over, and wreck this game. The Niners are in a decent position as far as their offensive tackle play. And this might surprise some people, but Penei Sewell, highest graded tackle according to PFF, 95.9 is his grade. Trent Williams, number 2, 87.9. Garrett Bowles, number 3, 87.1. Andrew Thomas, number 4, 84.8. Colton McKivitz, number 5, 83.2. I will say, Colton McKivitz has been good this year. He has gotten better and better over the last couple of years after what was a pretty bad and poor 2023 season. 2024, 2025, he's been solid. What I've seen this year, when he goes up against elite pass rushers like Will Anderson, Josh Sweat, Jared Verse, that's when he gets beat, and that's when he struggles. So if I'm Cleveland, I'm taking note of that. And I am putting Myles Garrett on the Colton McKivitz side. I'm letting him pin his ears back, get after the quarterback, and be the disruptive player that he is. And so Purdy has to play better against Cleveland compared to what he did against Carolina. And if Purdy plays against the Browns like he did against the Panthers, I think the Niners will lose this game. And Cleveland has one of the top defenses in the NFL, led by Myles Garrett, the future defensive player of the year, and he just won it 2 years ago. Another thing that could be an issue in this game, this is Brock Purdy's worst nightmare here. The weather is not going to cooperate with Purdy. He is a smaller quarterback who has always struggled to grip the ball in inclement weather. We saw it in Cleveland back in 2023. We saw it against the Packers in the playoffs in 2023. We saw it against Buffalo on the road last year in the snow. And right now, the weather is going to range between 34 and 42 degrees. It is going to be slick. It is going to be wet. It is going to be cold. And I tweeted this out just moments ago. Purdy's numbers from that 2023 game against Cleveland, he was 12 of 27 for 125 yards, a touchdown, and a pick. And he was really bad. And so that's a concern in this game because Cleveland is a team on paper that you should be able to beat. But the weather don't care about that. Kyle Shanahan also, as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach, against Jim Schwartz, who is the Browns defensive coordinator, all-time Shanahan, 1-8. His offense is averaging 15.7 points per game, and he surpassed 21 points in just one game. So this game for the Niners is going to be challenging. You can't just look at it and say, it's the Cleveland Browns, and they're playing a rookie quarterback. No, this game I think is going to be close. It's going to be a defensive slugfest, and it wouldn't surprise me if the Niners lose this game. Now, their defense should be able to play well for San Francisco. The Browns offensively, they are averaging 16.9 points per game this year. It's 29th. Yards per game, 31st. Yards per play, 32nd, dead last. Third downs, 30th. Red zone, 21st. But their defense, 13th in points per game, and the offense is not doing them any favor. So context important there. Second in yards per game, 5th in yards per play, 3rd on third downs, 7th in the red zone. Jim Schwartz, one of the top defensive coordinators in football, and he's always had Kyle Shanahan's number. Can't wait for this game from an X's and O's standpoint and a storyline standpoint. Who you got? SF for the Niners, CLE for Cleveland. Get those predictions in. Coverage to come all throughout the week, going into Thanksgiving and after it. And I hope all of you have a good holiday week.